everyone, welcome back to the kitchen. Today I've got a special treat for you. Today we're getting ready for the holidays and I'm going to give you a recipe for how to make your very own sweet hot mustard. This is over the top delicious and it might remind you of something from way back when that we all loved. I can't wait to show you how this all comes together. We are going to go over all the ingredients for our sweet hot mustard. Now you guys, if you grew up in the United States and you know around Christmas time they've got Swiss Colony, that's what I grew up with, and Hickory Farms. That is where everyone gets their, you know, meat and cheese boxes and you get to send things to relatives and what have you. Hickory Farms has the best, my favorite personal sweet hot mustard. It is delicious and it's just got the perfect combination of sweetness and heat, and it's delicious on just about anything. You're going to start off with a half a cup of Coleman's mustard powder. You should not substitute this. You should go to your grocery store and look for the Coleman's mustard. Now I got this ginormous, obnoxiously large tin from Amazon and I will put a link down below if you're interested in purchasing one of those for yourself. But the tins you get in the grocery store, one tin is enough for this recipe. 1/2 cup of Coleman's mustard powder, and then we're going to be mixing that with a 1/4 cup of water, and then we're going to let that bloom. So we're going to let that sit for about 10 minutes. Then we're going to get down to business, and we're going to add to a saucepan. We're going to be adding 1 cup of apple cider vinegar, 1 1/3 cups of water, 1/2 cup of honey, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, and we're going to season it up with a teaspoon each salt, onion powder, garlic powder. This is a base, folks. This is a place to start. If you want to add things instead of the water, if you want to put beer, if you want to put bourbon, whatever you want to add in here in place of part of the liquid, then you should do that. If you want to use maple syrup instead of honey or instead of brown sugar, so there's no refined sugar, you can do that too. It's completely up to you. So get started. We're going to put the mustard powder in our little bowl, and I will say it is helpful if the water is a little bit warm, and mine was warm when I set up the shot.
Can they use bottled mustard?
No, you cannot use bottled mustard. That's a good point. Rick just asked if you guys could use prepared mustard. And the answer here is no. You really want this Coleman's mustard because it really has some magical ability. It not only adds the right amount of heat and flavor, but it adds a thickening agent that is necessary here. So you definitely want to go with the Coleman's. Of course, you can always try it with some other brand, but I can't guarantee that it's going to have the same outcome. So we're going to set this aside and we're going to move forward. While we prepare everything else, this can just sit and rest. Okay, while our mustard is getting ready to bloom, I'm just going to go ahead and get all this in the saucepan, and we're just going to want to put this over medium heat. So here goes our water, and our honey and our brown sugar are already in the saucepan there. And then I'm going to put our seasonings. So we're just going to put this over medium heat, and I'm just going to give this a stir to get everything going. You want that honey to kind of melt, and you want the sugar to melt in there. And then I'm going to add the 1/2 cup of flour in here. Get this well incorporated with your whisk, and then what you're going to do, once that flour is all kind of dissolved up in there, over medium heat, you're going to want to continue stirring this until it gets hot enough that it starts to thicken. So be back when this has thickened up the appropriate amount. I've been stirring this for maybe 6 or 7 minutes, maybe not even that long. But look, once it thickens quick. So it's going to seem like it's like taking a long time, but once it thickens, it gets really thick really fast. So keep that in mind when I say stir it constantly, and like don't walk away from this. Like I walked away from it to go put something in the dishwasher, and I came back and it was all kind of clumpy because the bottom was getting hotter than the top was. So keep that in mind. But you can see how it is already, we're gonna call that boiling, bubbling. So we're good. Now, I have turned my burner off, and because this is an induction burner, that means there is no more heat whatsoever. Now here is our mustard. It has been blooming while we've been preparing, and that is exactly what you like. You see, that's what you want. It's nice and thick. There's no dry spots. You're gonna take that, put that right in your pot that is now off the heat. Grab your whisk and blend this all together. Now, you're done making your mustard, your sweet hot mustard at this point. But you need to let this cool. So you're gonna put this in some jars or in an airtight container. What I recommend is to go ahead and put this in an airtight container, put it in the refrigerator, and allow it to cool. And then it's gonna get a little bit thicker as it cools off, but not too much. It's just gonna cool off, and then you'll be able to enjoy it on your sandwiches or just as a dip or what have you. Now, this is not a recipe that is appropriate for canning, because I know some people are gonna ask me, can I can this? No, you cannot, and that's because there's flour in here, okay? Flour is no, you don't can things with starch. So you're gonna prepare this, and then if you wanna use this, which I think is a really great idea, to give this for Christmas gifts, if you wanna include a little jar of this in your care package or your goodie basket that you give to your friends and neighbors, it's a little something different, and I think they're gonna love it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop this in a container and I'm gonna let it cool, and then I'm gonna come back later and I'm gonna show you what it looks like all packaged up in jars.
Soft pretzels.
It'll be great with soft pretzels. Well, there you have it. Our sweet hot mustard is all ready to go. As you can see, I have 6 1/2 cup jars here that were just washed clean, dried, and then I filled them up with the cooled sweet hot mustard. And guys, I have to tell you, this stuff is the bomb. It's really amazing. Ran to the grocery store, got some of these pre-made German pretzels, you know, these soft pretzels, but I do have a recipe on the channel for how to make your own soft pretzels, and they are very easy and they're very delicious. But in a pinch, grabbing them from the grocery store, no shame in that game, and they're the perfect thing to dip in this mustard. I could think of 1,000 things to dip in this mustard. Chips, chunks of cheese, like I said when I was a kid, that was one of my favorite snacks, and this is really, really amazing. I'm just going to show you. It has thickened up a bit, but it's still pretty much the same consistency. This does pack a little bit of a punch, but it's just hot enough and it's sweet enough, and it's a perfect combination of sweet, tangy, and spicy. And I think you're gonna love it. Do you want to taste it?
I have to. Yep, you're gonna love it.
So good. And I think this is the perfect size. If you're going to consider gift giving, you can put it, make a pretty label, put it on the lid. And then this is great on a roast beef sandwich or a turkey sandwich. It's great on just about anything you want to put it on. And it's especially good just to set out with, like I said, a meat and cheese tray. And it's great to dip the smoked summer sausage in, or it would even be good on the side if you're going to make some kielbasa or what have you. So that is how you make homemade sweet hot mustard. This is in preparation for the holidays. You don't want to make this too far in advance, but I would say that if you make it and you put it in your fridge, this will last at least 3 months. I don't think that it's going to be a problem as long as it's kept under refrigeration. Remember, it's not a canning item, and you can't can it because of safety reasons. So make it like right after Thanksgiving, then you'll have it in your fridge and you'll be able to give it and tuck it in your goodie bags or baskets that you give to your friends and neighbors. I think people are truly going to appreciate this. So I hope you give this a try, and I hope you love it. And until next time, I'll see ya.